Have you ever seen a woman with a large rock on your finger and thought to yourself, wow, her husband's probably rich? Well, this thought that may come to some people's minds automatically are due to the clever campaigning of jewelry companies such as De Beers Company that advertise diamond rings. I'm here to inform you, if you will ever buy or wear a diamond ring someday, about the hidden info behind the jewelry industry and how they have made it into a symbol of wealth, status, and love. I am no professional gemologist, I know, but I am very passionate about this topic, and I would love to share with y'all today about what I have researched. I want to touch on the myths surrounding the diamonds, the De Beers Company, and how they have changed the stigma of the diamond ring forever. Quick disclaimer, I don't want to talk anybody out of buying a diamond ring or make you feel bad for wearing one. I just want to give you total transparency about what you may not know and what you may not have been told in the past. Myth number 1, diamonds are rare. Actually, when you buy diamonds are one of the most, or even the most common gemstone out of the rarer gemstones. And consider this, how many people do you know that own diamonds versus how many people do you know that own rubies or emeralds? Another myth is diamonds are the most valuable gem. Actually, when you buy a diamond at retail, it's up to 100 to 200% of what it's actually worth. And when you resell it, unlike gold and silver, you may not even get half back for what you bought for it. Edward Epstein in 1982 actually wrote an article about this, an investigative article. He explains how De Beers turned this relatively common gem into something that's rare and mysterious and represents wealth, love, and status in the eyes of the common people. This misconception can be traced back to the 1930s. We've all taken economics classes in high school probably, and you know that the control of supply and demand keeps things like diamonds rare. So, Seth Rosen from the Gem Society talked about how the De Beers Corporation specifically stockpiled all of their diamonds to control the supply and therefore make diamonds seem more rare. Back in the 1900s, they owned 90% of the market's diamonds, and they were mining more than they were actually selling, keeping the supply low and the demand high. By 1999, they owned $5.2 billion in diamonds, and eventually agreed to cease stockpiling in 2000. Dar, in the Huffington Post, mentioned how they enlisted a man by the name of Gerald Locke to help with this creative campaigning for the De Beers Corporation that makes the ring a symbol of success and love for men, which therefore makes men more inclined to save up months of their salary in order to get their girlfriend the biggest rock they can so that can be a symbol of their wealth and status. Now, this power did come with a price for De Beers, but a price they didn't pay, but their workers paid. If you've ever seen the movie Blood Diamond starring Leonardo DiCaprio, you may have gotten a glimpse of what this was like. This movie actually gives viewers a glimpse of the civil wars, the torturing, the beating, and the mistreatment of many of the laborers for the diamond industry in South Africa, more specifically. It was either labeled by force or it was labor from poverty. Either one, many workers were forced to go into the mining industry in order to pay their bills. Baker and others wrote a story about it in Time magazine in comparison of a man who is buying a diamond ring versus a man who is working to find these diamonds to stay afloat. This incited the Kimberley process to come about, which was created at a meeting of more than 20 countries. This had the idea of the diamond passport, which is required for any incoming diamonds to show that it is conflict-free zone diamonds. Now, like any policy, it's not completely effective or preventative, and the torture of many laborers is still continuing to this day. Again, my intention with this speech was not to guilt anybody or convince you never to buy a diamond ring. I just want to give out the information that I have been aware of and what these jewelers have not been telling you. My purpose here was to inform you of the hidden information behind the diamond industry and how diamonds may appear rare, but they are really been stockpiled for many, many years, and so to give the idea of it being rare. You can thank the diamond industry for you looking at that big rock and thinking, wow, it must be rich, because they have taught us to think that the bigger the ring, the more wealthy and the more love a man has for his wife or her husband. Now, De Beers still controls 35 to 40% of the market, and they still take advantage of desperate people looking for work. But if someday the supply equals out with the demand, there will be a truthful price out at the end. But until then, it's up to you to decide whether you want to continue buying diamond rings or to look for rare gemstones.